Yes.
My name is Jane, and I am 18, and this is where I hang out with my friends. We are deeply concerned about the problems facing Nigeria, but when it comes to doing something about it, we would rather sit on the fence.
Hold up. Dab, 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 dab. Yes. Dab, 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 dab. Yes.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
I would like to appeal to dedicate and commit yourself once again to the task at hand.
President Buhari expresses optimism in the forthcoming general elections.
Before we only cultivate once in a year, but since the intervention of this project, we're able to produce 3 times in a year.
International Fund for Agriculture agrees on more funds for Nigeria's agricultural development.
Reach a consensus with President Buhari to further boost our bilateral relations.
Nigeria and China signed pact on building military capacity in the fight against terrorism. And NEMA offers more assistance to alleviate the plight of displaced persons in IDP camps. A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Elizabeth Stober. Reading with me tonight is Hingino John Adams in Lagos and Kemi Akinwande in Ibadan. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed absolute confidence in the ability of the governing All Progressives Congress to retain power after the forthcoming general elections. Speaking at the inaugural meeting of the Presidential Campaign Council, the president, however, warned against complacency, saying efforts should be intensified towards maximizing the scale and extent of the party's victory. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports.
The meeting is convened to, among others, consider and approve the structure and operational modalities of the Presidential Campaign Council, the terms of reference of the various directorates, and the organogram that will determine how members relate with each other towards effectively discharging their responsibilities. This, President Muhammadu Buhari said, is a critical pathway towards a smooth electioneering campaign and victory for the party and all its candidates.
There is no doubt that victory is with us. It is ours. But that shouldn't mean we should rest even for a moment. Even though we are confident of winning, I urge you to work as hard as you can so that we can maximize the scale and extent of our victory. Rise to the challenge of the great expectations this party and Nigerians have for you and the confidence that I personally have in the ability of all of you to deliver.
While expressing gratitude to the APC family members for once again entrusting him with the responsibility of leading the campaign, the president harped on the need for decision-making to be collective at all times. This, he said, is to enhance the effectiveness of the vote-seeking crusade.
I would like to appeal to dedicate and commit yourself once again to the task at hand. You are the cream of the party, and I assure you that with unity of purpose and effective harmony and communication, there is no political opponent you cannot overcome.
During the inauguration of the campaign council last Monday, the president told the nation that a victory for the governing APC is a victory for all well-meaning Nigerians who are committed to change for a sustainable future. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called on the people of Gombe State to vote overwhelmingly for the candidates of the All Progressives Congress in the 2019 general elections. This was when the Vice President flagged off the All Progressives Congress gubernatorial campaign in the state this Thursday. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
There are more than 1.3 million eligible voters in Gombe State, and this is as revealed by the Independent National Electoral Commission. These are spread across the 11 local government areas of the state, and Kaltungo, where the campaign takes place, is one of them. Elated Vice President Yemi Osinbajo assures the people that they would not be disappointed by the party and President Muhammadu Buhari if re-elected, and would do the best to improve the lives of all Nigerians. The Vice President presents candidates of the party in the 2019 gubernatorial election in Yahaya to the people, urging them to cast their votes rightly.
So I believe very strongly, and all of us, every one of us must know that APC is for all of us. APC is for Gombe. Gombe is for APC. When I say APC, you say next level. APC. APC.
Vice President Osinbajo, on arrival, paid courtesy visit to Emir of Kaltungo, Saleh Mohammedu. Jide Onifade, NTA News.
In another development, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has cautioned the opposition in Kwara State to desist from injecting religious and ethnic sentiments in the ongoing campaigns in the state. He said they should rather give account of their stewardship, which has spanned decades. The minister made this remark in Ilorin at a mobilization and sensitization meeting for APC women leaders in the state. Anthony Folson reports.
In their colorful attires, they came from the 16 local governments of the state. The Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, began by commending them for keeping faith with the party and their resolve to work for the liberation of Kwara State.
The main issues here have to do with how our state has been governed in the last 40 years. by one dominant group. What has happened in those 40 years? We are talking about a mafia that has cornered our collective wealth. Where are our roads? Where are the infrastructure? How can they justify the huge resources that have flowed to the state?
He appealed to them not to be swayed by the fake news and hate speech being reeled out to convince them to remain in captivity. On the national scene, the minister charged them to engage the opposition constructively.
They said it is because of Buhari that they have not developed Kwara State. We asked them, when did Buhari become president? 3.5 years ago. They have been in control for more than 20 years. Where are the roads they built?
State chairman of the party, who congratulated the women leaders, said the party is positioned to carry the women along in this new dawn as against the old order. On her part, the state women leader was quick to call for an all-inclusive movement to salvage the state from what she described as shackles of tyranny. In two separate lectures tied to how women can effectively be team players, Mero Mustafa and Sadia Baki all charged the women to rise to the occasion and ensure that they are carried along rather than work against their women folks. The consensus at the forum was hinged on working on issues of how to enthrone good governance in Kwara State. From Ilori in Kwara State, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Still on the political scene, presidential candidate of the Young People's Party, Kingsley Moghalu, says when elected as the president of Nigeria, he will embark on constitutional restructuring that will abolish 3 tiers of government. He made this known while featuring on the 2019 edition of The Candidates, an interactive session organized for candidates of 4 political parties ahead of the forthcoming polls. Saliu Abdullahi reports.
The interactive session provides a unique platform for direct interaction between the presidential and vice presidential candidates of the leading political parties in Nigeria and the citizens. The maiden edition of the program, tagged The Candidates, featured Kingsley Moghalu and his running mate, Umar Getso of the Young Progressives Party. For about 2 hours, they spoke on their agenda for the nation as it affects key sectors of economy, education, and security.
My proposal for constitutional restructuring is one: we must return Nigeria to a proper federation. That federation should be based on geopolitical and geoeconomic zones, not states. There is a lot of economic advantage, a lot of economies of scale that come from a regional approach to economic development rather than many states which today are not viable fiscally.
Opportunity given to me to bring out what I have for Nigerians. It's a kind of lifetime dream. I've always dreamed of a way to see how I can impact the lives of a typical Nigerian. And it's not about gender only, but it is still about gender, because according to Professor Kingsley Moghalu's book, he's going to give us 50-50 gender equity in his government.
The event, put together by the Nigerian Television Authority and Daria Media in partnership with MacArthur Foundation, provided an opportunity for Nigerians to hear directly from the candidates and to ask questions on governance and nation building. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And the African Democratic Party has implored candidates vying for elective offices to dwell on issues during campaigns in line with the party's manifestos. This was a central message at an enlarged meeting of all candidates of the party in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The meeting is basically to take stock and chart a way forward as the general elections draw near. Presidential candidate of the party, Yaba Gisani, briefed participants on his visit to some eminent Nigerians to solicit their support in his quest to lead Nigeria.
Oil and gas sector is a promise of greatness for this country, and we want to ensure that Nigerians get the benefit of what God has given to us. I can do it. I know what I'm talking about.
Other speakers are optimistic that the party will emerge victorious in the coming elections.
I have an unassailable national security credentials amongst all the candidates in Plateau. None of them has my background in national security. And the most pressing problem in Plateau today is security. And that's what I want to come and tackle head on.
They promised to remain civil in their campaign engagements. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Similarly, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has reiterated his commitment to restructure Nigeria if elected president. This was at the party's presidential rally in Minna, Niger State. Again, Timothy Yusuf reports.
The PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar reminded the people of Niger State that PDP was in power until 2015, stressing that the party is poised to reclaim power with a promise to improve on the nation's economy, security, and the general well-being of the people.
This is a promise and a commitment I am making on behalf of PDP, and if you vote for PDP.
Other speakers, including the Director General of the PDP Presidential Campaign Organization and President of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, the party's National Chairman, Uche Secondus, as well as the immediate past governor of the state, Dr. Muazu Babangida Aliyu, say a vote for all PDP candidates in the forthcoming general elections will move Nigeria to her pride of place. Meanwhile, the Kwara State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has flagged off its statewide campaign for the forthcoming elections in Bode, Saadu, Moro local government area. The president of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, and other speakers enjoined the people of the state to cast their ballots for all PDP candidates for socio-economic development of the state. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Umar Ibrahim El-Yakub as the new Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, House of Representatives. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, indicates that this follows the resignation of Honorable Kawu Sumaila. He resigned to contest for membership of the House of Representatives, representing Sumaila Takai Federal Constituency in Kano State on the ticket of the APC. And the Buhari Media Organization has commended the federal government for reaching an agreement with the Nigerian Labour Congress on the protracted national minimum wage issue. In a statement signed by its chairman, Ni Akinsuju, and secretary, Cassidy Madueke, the group said it is elated that with the latest memorandum of understanding signed between the NLC and the federal government, a bill for the 30,000 naira minimum wage will be presented to the National Assembly for consideration and enactment into law. The statement also criticizes the PDP and its presidential candidate for wishing hardship on Nigerians over the same issue and lauds the Buhari administration for resolving many intractable social problems that in the past posed a huge challenge to Nigerians. The group notes with satisfaction that the Buhari administration is meeting the expectations of Nigerians and urges Nigerians to keep faith by re-electing President Muhammadu Buhari and Professor Yemi Osinbajo for a second term. You're watching NTA Network News. We now take a break. The news continues in just a moment. Stay with us.
But 3G is great. 4G is better. You don't know what you're missing till you experience it. Buy an Airtel SIM to enjoy double data on Nigeria's widest 4G network.
Airtel, the Smartphone Network.
Politics, democratically, affords a level playing field for everyone who carries the will and courage to lead a people in the right direction.
I wish to call on women to go and spread the good news and accomplishment of the present administration.
Women inevitably are the right source to pave this path that can bring good governance, structural stability, rapid economic growth, and basic human rights to all its citizenry. There is no better time than now to experience their prowess in this era, when women all over the world are showing that they have the right tools to build a nation. The Buhari-led administration and APC have aligned with its purpose to involve women with the right vision. The idea is not just for participation, but inclusive participation.
We can exert more power than we would have individually in garnering the majority of registered women and youth voters to vote for the Buhari Osibanjo team from 2019.
This is what change is all about. This is the vision of the All Progressives Congress. This is for a new Nigeria.
The 5,000 naira where we need to buy UTME form for junior, you never complete.
Mama Junior, President Muhammadu Buhari don't reduce price of UTME and DE form from 5,000 naira to 3,500 naira, excluding the money for reading text. Then go begin sell 2019 UTME and direct entry application form from January 10 to February 21, 2019. The exam go sell for 16 to 23 March. For general detail, make could go to ibas.jamb.gov.ng or download the app from Google Play Store. To register by form, text surname, first name plus middle name to 55019. Then go send profile code wey get 10 character. Now this profile code candidate go fill when they pay for JAMB form. After payment, candidate go receive e-pin for him phone. Now this e-pin candidate go take go any accredited JAMB CBT center to complete online registration. Don't use another person phone number to take register.
JAMB, enhancing academic excellence.
Election 2019 is here.
This is a clarion call to all Nigerians by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. On February 16, 2019, presidential and National Assembly elections will be conducted nationwide. Similarly, on March 2, 2019, governorship and state assembly elections will take place. INEC is committed to making the 2019 general elections the best we have ever had. Credible persons are being recruited and trained to handle polling units and collation centers at all levels. Our card readers have been upgraded and will be deployed to all polling units to prevent voter impersonation. We will involve technology in the conduct of elections to prevent fraud. Your votes will count. Join hands with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Let's make Nigeria proud. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
We pride ourselves at being the best at what we do.
By good boys, I mean some good boys are carried along.
If OMS stops today, the economy of our community will stop also.
The capacity of OMS is not in doubt.
This is the pipeline. It's safe because we are working day and night.
Time it was. The lifeblood of our nation was under attack. The economy began to hemorrhage. Despair, fear, uncertainty pervaded the land. The future looked bleak. The lifeblood of our nation drained uncontrollably in the creeks of the Niger Delta through the pipelines. Alas, like a shot in the arm, enters Ocean Marine Solutions to the rescue. Light began to shine at the end of the tunnel. Watch a special documentary, OMS, Safeguarding the Lifeblood of a Nation, showing on the channel 10 p.m. on Thursday, 10th January 2019. A must watch.
The Honorable Minister of Defense, Mansur Dan Ali, on behalf of members of the Armed Forces, announces the activities marking the 2019 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration. The event started with a press briefing by the Honorable Minister of Defense on 12th October 2018, which was followed by an emblem appeal launch by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari on 31st October 2018. Other activities lined up include Jumat prayers, date Friday 11th January 2019, venue National Mosque Abuja, time 1 p.m., Interdenominational Church service. Date Sunday 13th January 2019. Venue National Christian Center, Abuja. Time 12 noon. Laying of wreath. Date Tuesday 15th January 2019. Venue National Arcade, Abuja. Time 9 a.m. The activities will also take place across the Federation on the same date and venue as designated by the various state governments. Join the armed forces in remembering the fallen heroes who sacrificed their lives for peace and security of our dear nation. Brigadier General John Agim, Acting Director, Defense Information, announcer.
Thank you for staying with us. President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday called on the media in the country to make extra effort to report actual and reliable information, avoid fake news stories, and ensure that facts form the basis of all news reports. The president received Jamie Angus, the executive director of the BBC World Service, at the State House in Abuja, congratulating the BBC for the high reputation it earned through difficult times such as the period of the Nigerian Civil War. The president commended BBC's dissemination of news to the vast communities in different languages, especially Hausa across the Sahel region and Igbo, Yoruba and Pidgin in Nigeria. The BBC team explained their plans for coverage of the upcoming elections in the country, including state gubernatorial debates, as well as the just concluded conference sponsored by the broadcasting organization to tackle the growing menace of fake news. The Nigerian government has signed a memorandum of understanding with China aimed at building capacity of military personnel in the fight against insurgency. Victor Azu reports that the Minister of Defense, Mansour Dan Ali, represented Nigeria.
See you again. Promise made, promise kept. This warm handshake between the Minister of Defense, Mansour Dan Ali, and the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Dr. Zijuping Jian, signals the signing of a memorandum of understanding worth 50 million Chinese yuan to support the Nigerian military in its fight against insurgency.
President Xi also reached a consensus with President Buhari to further boost our bilateral relations, including military-to-military relations. And from our side, the Chinese side, is willing to provide another 50 million Chinese yuan for the capacity building for Nigerian military.
While thanking the Chinese government, Nigeria's Minister of Defense acknowledges the need for international cooperation in the war on terror.
Insurgency is not a single country's problem. It's a global problem which all nations should come together and fight it together. I thank you most sincerely for coming, and we really appreciate the gesture done to us.
The commitment to support Nigeria's military was made in Beijing last September during bilateral talks between President Muhammadu Buhari and President Xi Jinping. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
The Presidential Advisory Committee on Elimination of Drug Abuse says it is partnering key players with a view to adopting an aggressive and holistic approach to eradicating the supply, demand and abuse of drugs in Nigeria. This was affirmed when the committee members visited the force headquarters and the Nigeria Customs Service in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
Since its inauguration in December 2018, the committee have continued to take critical steps to achieve its mandate. One of such is the visit to the Nigeria Police Force headquarters to further synergize in its quest to rid the country of the abuse of drugs.
Our marching order was to find sustainable strategies for the elimination of drug abuse in this great country. And we have set about this work by first engaging the key stakeholders, of which the police is a very important one.
By setting up this committee, which has the much important mandate of coordinating and accelerating federal government's intervention measures to mitigate the attendant threats of drug abuse to the nation's socio-economic growth, security and welfare.
The Nigeria Customs Service was the next port of call by the team, with a view towards addressing the supply and demand chain from the country's borders.
Your committee is going to be very important in the sense that by the time you finish your work, you should be able to provide solutions to how best we can, most importantly, stop the influx of drug into this country.
The committee resolved to conduct its mandate within the ambits of the law to effectively justify the confidence reposed by President Buhari's administration of ridding Nigeria of drug abuse. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
In its efforts to wipe out remnants of Boko Haram terrorists that now go by the appellation of Islamic State of West Africa Province, ISWAP, the gallant troops of the newly formed Nigerian Army Special Forces Command, Operation Lafia Dole, has given the terrorists that attacked the troops' location in Baga a bloody nose. A statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Sani Kukasheka Usman, says the triumphant troops, particularly the highly revered 707 Special Forces Brigade, which is the vanguard of the great exploit, neutralized several terrorists and recovered arms and ammunition. Unfortunately, in the process, the Special Forces lost one officer and soldier, while 5 other soldiers sustained injuries. The remains of the 2 fallen heroes and the wounded have since been evacuated. In the meantime, the army has called on the citizens, especially those within Maiduguri metropolis, to cooperate and support the ongoing fight against insurgency. This is coming on the heels of credible information and evidence that some elements of Boko Haram terrorists have infiltrated some villages on the fringes of Maiduguri town in a bid to further intensify their psychological war and instill fear on the citizens. A statement by the Deputy Director, Public Relations, Colonel Onyema Nwachuku, says these terrorists have been going about threatening innocent residents, warning them to vacate their homes, compelling several inhabitants to move out of their ancestral homes. The army urges members of the public to promptly report the presence of suspicious persons or avail the security agencies of information about such persons, as failure to report will be viewed seriously as collaboration with the Boko Haram terrorists. In another development, the Ministry of Defense has closed some routes in Abuja as part of activities to ensure a smooth celebration of this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day Parade. A statement by the Acting Director, Defense Information, Brigadier General John Agin, indicates that the following routes will be blocked on the 15th of January 2019 from 9 o'clock in the morning. The routes are the Court of Appeal Junction, Foreign Affairs Junction, Bielsa House Junction, Benway House Junction. Others include Phase 3 Flyover, Aso Drive by Phase 3, and Mopol Gate behind the National Arcade. The Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing gets symbolic sukuk check to finance 28 key road projects across Nigeria as part of the 2018 budget borrowing plan. Leah Katung Babatunde reports that this is in line with government's commitment to bridge the infrastructure gap and gain significant interest from a wide range of retail and institutional investors.
The bulk of Nigeria's transport activity takes place on the roads. Nigeria has close to 200,000 kilometer road network, but due to her size, more needs to be done. The 7-year 100 billion naira sovereign sukuk is government's borrowing initiative to cater to the infrastructural needs of the public along with its attendant benefits to participants along the construction line.
The federal government's objective of financial inclusion is deepening. We have now a wider investor base of federal government securities, and this is on the upward trend.
The most important thing in terms of nation building, job creation, growth, and employment. I want to say again that there is no nation that I know of that has gone on to greatness without building.
A breakdown of the investment plan shows that 28 key economic roads earmarked in the 2018 budget would benefit from either construction or rehabilitation across the 6 geopolitical zones. 16.67 billion naira is allocated to each zone.
The most important aspect is to make sure that the contractors are deployed to site and the work starts and the entire Nigerian economy and populace can begin to benefit from it.
This is the second tranche of Sukuk borrowing. The first was issued in 2017 and injected into 25 road projects. In Abuja, I'm Leah Kating Baba today, NTA News.
Nigerian Export-Import Nexim Bank has signed a memorandum of understanding with Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency in a drive towards promoting and developing the non-oil sector of the economy for sustainable development of Nigeria. The breakthrough was achieved at a 2-day Exporter Enlightenment Forum convened by Nexim Bank for the Northwest Geopolitical Zone in Katsina. Correspondent Saliu Awal has details.
With the theme Actualizing the Produce, Add Value and Export Pay Philosophy, the Exporter Enlightenment Forum is designed to boost the volume of exportable commodities and maximize production through job creation and export earnings in the Northwest and Nigeria at large. The Managing Director, Nexim Bank, Abba Bello, revealed that Nigeria has moved up to 24th position in 2018 from the 145 ranking in 2017 as one of the fastest reforming countries in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business report of the year under review. The development, he says, was due to proactive measures taken by the federal government in its economic growth and recovery plan. The Director General Smith and Luko Umaroda, who underscored the importance of enhancing synergy between government agencies, said the introduction of modern clinics has played a significant role in addressing critical challenges in the subsector.
The MOU we signed is to create a partnership and a platform on converting some of the products that are developed and dealt with in trade domestically by MSMEs.
The Commissioner of Commerce and Industry, Abubakar Yusuf, said government has provided enabling environment for small and medium enterprises to thrive in line with the federal government economic diversification policies. In Katsina, Mohammed Salis Awal, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. We now join Hingino in Lagos for an update on the train derailment. It's over to you, Hingino.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and a warm welcome to Lagos. Several persons in the early hours of today escaped death as a passenger train from Alagbado to Lagos derailed the track at the Ashade Market Junction in Agege. The cause of the derailment has been attributed to a bad portion of the track, which has been there for a long time unattended to. Tunde Saiki reports that 3 out of the 17 coaches fell off, throwing off passengers that sat on top of the train.
The train with 17 coaches was said to have taken off from Alagbado fully loaded. Unfortunately, getting to the Ashade Market area, it derailed, while other hangers-on sat on top of the train until the accident occurred some few minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning.
As there are some people on top the train. Where the train passed, the many 3 coaches at the back now shift, fell down. Now people are on top, now falling down.
Some of those involved in emergency evacuation said no casualty was recorded.
I know I've seen a bad portion of the track here when I came in this morning. That may be the reason for this derailment, but I cannot categorically say that. I expect the Nigerian Railway Corporation to issue a statement about this soon. Our effort is limited to rescue and safety. We have been here. We have tried to rescue people, but unfortunately, we didn't see not one single person who was injured. It is either they ran away. People said they ran away because they cannot be used as a scapegoat.
Immediately we received information that there is an emergency here at Guinness. So we quickly called on our effort team, that is the emergency first aid teams, and we responded immediately. Residents, however, advised the Nigerian Railway Corporation to immediately effect repairs on the failed track to avoid future occurrence. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
the federal government is wooing investors to drive the proposed National ICT Park in Abuja. This was at the Federal Ministry of Communication Business Roundtable Stakeholders Engagement in Lagos. Muhammad Abdulkadir reports that the engagement is on financing and sustainability of the proposed National ICT Park.
This is the model for the proposed National ICT Park, Abuja. It is therefore not surprising that local experts and foreign partners in the sector converged on this hall to chart the way forward for the park. The Minister of Communication, Adebayo Shitu, blazed the trail to set the tone for the business roundtable stakeholders engagement.
So we've invited a lot of international investors to come and buy into this idea of ours to set up something similar to what we have in Barcelona.
The platform underscores government's determination to leverage ICT for job creation and crave for manpower requirements in the sector.
Abuja Technology Village is one of these science parks. It's a development in Abuja initiated to serve among the catalysts for the desired transformation of Abuja.
Its role, therefore, is to develop information technology in the country through regulatory standards, guidelines, and policies.
We are heading for what is called the fourth industrial revolution, and ICT plays a critical role in that space.
When completed, the national park is expected to serve as catalyst for knowledge-based economy. The consensus at this roundtable engagement is that the global community is on the super highway in the information and communication technology, and Nigeria cannot afford to be left behind. In Lagos, Muhammad Abdulkadir, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay with us.
Going up? Of course you are. And why not? With Glow Internet, built on Africa's largest wholly owned metro fiber network, the sky is, well, it is rather unlimited. Up is upbeat, seamless. Up is quick and easy access to all your favorite apps and entertainment. And there is no downside on a network committed to upping your fun and productivity. Get quick on the uptake, my friend, and upset the odds in your favor. Because on Glow, up isn't an upgrade. It is the upgrade. Going up?
Upgrade to a 4G SIM for free and get 125% bonus. Also enjoy unconditional 25% data bonus non-stop on all auto renewals. Dial *777# to choose a plan.
Sore throat, it's often caused by bacteria and viruses. Feels like they're having a party. You need Strepsils. It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Double power in one lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils.
Getting around heartburn and indigestion can be tricky if you eat too much. Eat food that is too spicy or greasy, or lie down after eating. Heartburn and indigestion could always be around the corner. When they come, be prepared with Gaviscon Double Action. It works within 3 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours. Gaviscon Double Action. Many causes, one solution.
If you want a great Nigeria with a greater future, with hope and strength, election 2019 is here. It's our only hope. Election for a greater tomorrow. Election for a better Nigeria. Election 2019 is here.
Good people of Nigeria, the general elections are here again. Be good Nigerians. Let's do what is right. Do not sell your vote. Do not buy anybody's vote. Vote buying and selling amount to bribery. They are criminal acts and election malpractices. Offenders will be arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. So vote according to your conscience. Shun all forms of election malpractices. Vote for the candidate of your choice. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
For a better Nigeria, election 2019 is here.
When I was a little girl, I loved spending time with Mum and Grandma cleaning the house.
I was so excited to sing in the choir.
And your shirts are always so white.
I knew what Mum's secret was. Today, I'm a modern woman that still trusts the secrets passed down to me. It's Jik, of course. The original trusted bleach, which can be used all around your house for amazing results.
Shh, it's our little secret.
It's no secret. It's Jik's best ever extra whitening power. Just Jik it.
Nigeria, a land of promise, land of potential, rich in oil, arable land and solid minerals. Yet hunger, joblessness, homelessness, and poverty are widespread. Over the years, Nigeria has suffered from hospitals without drugs, schools without teachers, and a huge infrastructure deficit. Clearly, we are yet to reach our full potential. And one of the reasons is because people choose bad leaders. Some even sell their conscience for a few thousand naira. For 2019 elections, don't sell your vote. Don't sell your future. Don't buy the people's lives. Vote selling is a crime against yourself. You will spend the next 4 years paying for it. Vote buying is against the law. Politicians, stop buying votes. People, stop selling your future. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Thank you for staying with us on NTA Network News. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has this Thursday confirmed that successful applicants from its 2018 recruitment exercise have been selected. Corps Public Education Officer BC Kazim debunked the claim that the exercise was done secretly, stating that the process was transparent. He explained that those successful have been contacted and are receiving training in locations across Nigeria. The federal government and the International Fund for Agricultural Development have agreed to extend the Food Value Chain Development Program in the country. The program will also be extended to 3 additional states. IFAD Director in charge of West and Central Africa, Lisandro Martins, stated this while inspecting the value chain program in Niger State. Musa Baba Aliu reports.
Lisandro Martins is visiting Nigeria for the first time to assess the impact of the value chain extension program being jointly sponsored between Nigeria and his organization. He is in this rural community in Mushishi local government area of Niger State, where he interacted with cassava and rice farmers benefiting from the value chain program.
So a lot of our youths are now engaged in farming.
Aminu Ndakogi Kanko is one of the beneficiaries of the value chain program.
And before we only cultivate once in a year, but since the intervention of this project, we're able to produce 3 times in a year.
After going around the rural areas, Lisandro Martins did not hesitate to have a taste of their locally produced snacks.
The involvement of the women and how the women have been able to manage their relationship with the private sector and the market is something that is working very well. The contracts that you have with the private sector and the whole quality process to deliver on the contracts is something that we want to make sure that we bring to other countries in West Africa.
It's a success story, not only a success story, something we would like to see replicate at a large scale.
With the 3 states coming on board, IFAD Nigeria value chain will now be in 9 states, though the names of the 3 states are yet to be disclosed. This will enable more farmers like Aminu Ndakogi Kanko to benefit more from the program. From Mushishi local government area of Niger State, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says it will not rest on its oars in providing shelter, food and other items to internally displaced persons in Borno State. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports on the latest support to alleviate the sufferings of IDPs.
For the new set of IDPs leaving their ancestral homes as a result of the recent Boko Haram attacks is an agony that will continue to remain evergreen on their lives. However, the provision of relief materials by NEMA, the IDPs say, is commendable and will go a long way in alleviating their plight. As at the last count on 9th of January 2019, the agency has profiled about 40,000 IDPs. A 9-year-old Mohammed Habib and his sister Zara Habib, who are yet to be reconnected with their parents, are among those rescued from the attacks. Relief materials were distributed to the IDPs. Leader of the Special Intervention Team, Air Commodore Akube Iyamo, re-emphasized the commitment of NEMA to leave no stone unturned in taking care of the IDPs.
The non-food items have gone down, everybody. So we are concentrating on the food items now.
Seriously, we are very grateful and we are really appreciate. I don't know how much the appreciation that I show to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Even from the last count at close of the day, more IDPs have continued to find their way into the designated camps in Maiduguri to access the relief assistance by NEMA. From Maiduguri, Borno State, Ilyasu Aliyakubu, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. We now join Kemi in Ibadan for more reports. Over to you, Kemi.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good evening and welcome to Ibadan. The Southwest Zonal Office of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has been established in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, with a call on stakeholders to join in repositioning the agency for world-best practices. Director General of the agency, Mustafa May Haja, stated this during an advocacy visit to the Oyo State Governor. Ayomiku Ajibola has the details.
With the mandate to manage disaster in all ramifications in Nigeria, through the collaborative effort of other stakeholders towards efficient and effective disaster prevention, preparedness, mitigation, and response. Director General of NEMA said the establishment of the Southwest Zonal Office of the agency in Ibadan will further foster and promote effectiveness in disaster management and indeed disaster risk reduction in the Southwest, which comprises Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, and Ekiti states.
We must put all hands on deck to ensure effective and efficient disaster regular evaluation strategies, policies, and programs that will reduce loss of lives and property in our communities, thereby facilitating the work.
Governor Abela Ajimobi, who was represented by his deputy, thanked NEMA for bringing the headquarters of Southwest of the agency to Ibadan and assured them of government support.
And I want to assure you that all that you have requested for in terms of office accommodation, warehouse, and others, we are going to make sure that we provide the earliest possible time.
The visit, according to him, will further strengthen the synergy and cordial relationship that had existed between Oyo State and NEMA in the task of emergency control and management. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
The police in Kwara State have read riot act to politicians in the state ahead of the 2019 general elections. The warning was issued at a meeting with stakeholders towards a violence-free election organized by the Nigeria Police Force Kwara State Command. Raliat Ibrahim reports.
The pre-election debate on election security was led by the Vice-Chancellor, University of Ilorin, Professor Suleiman Age Abdulkarim, who called on politicians to stop seeing elections as a do-or-die affair, but rather as service to the people.
It is all about making impact on the creation and distribution of resources, life chances, and well-being.
The resident electoral commissioner for Kwara State, Garba Atairu Madami, emphasized the important role of security agencies in organizing elections in Nigeria, while emphasizing that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is ready to conduct a free, fair, and credible elections in the country. The State Commissioner of Police, Bashir Makama, said the police will not condone any form of thuggery, hooliganism, destruction of billboards, and all other acts that will disrupt peace in the polity.
Let everybody play his or her own part, and we continue to make Kwara State a safe and harmonious state as it is known to be.
Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Elizabeth, it's back to you.
Thank you, Kemi. We take another break. We'll be back with more reports. Stay with us.
Whether you come here to break dance, I mean you come here to
here to make plans. Ever would the richest motherland. Whether you come here to rock with me, oh, I be not to find food, oh, everything they, oh, ever would the richest motherland. Anywhere you go, London, USA, nowhere be like Africa.
Nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago. Nowhere be like Africa. Nowhere be like home.
This festive season, there's no place like home. Get a GoTV decoder and GoTenna and 1 month of GoTV Max subscription for only 6,900 Naira. GoTV. Live it, love it.
His Excellency Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, the Governor of Nasarawa State, announces with heavy heart and deep sense of loss the demise of His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Isa Mustafa Agwe, CFR, Emir of Lafia and Chairman, Nasarawa State Council of Chiefs, which sad event occurred on Thursday, 10th January 2019, after a protracted illness. The deceased was born on 14th August 1935 and ascended the revered stool of Emir of Lafia on the 28th May 1974. The Emir's body will leave Abuja for Lafia on Friday, 11th January 2019, while the funeral prayer will take place by 2:30 after Jumat prayers at the Emir's Palace, Lafia. His Excellency, the Governor, consults with the family of the deceased, the Lafia Emir Council, the State Council of Chiefs, and the entire people of Nasarawa State over the sad loss. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Al-Jannatul Firdaus. Announcer Haruna Ilya Osheba, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Nasarawa State.